From the soundstage of the Digital Media Classroom here at Wellington High School, the Patricia Lindley Center for the Performing Arts and the Wellington Music Store presents Dialogue with the Dukes. I'm your host, Bill Berger. If I came up to you and asked you, what do you know about the United Way? You could probably tell me about the United Way and what its function is. But if I came up to you and asked you, what is Thrive? You'd probably look at me and go, well, I know a little bit about it. Or you'd look at me with a blank stare and say, I have no idea what Thrive is. So we're going to take care of that today. And with that, we're going to be talking with three women having to do with the Mind, Body, and Spirit project located here or within, that's being facilitated within both the Wellington Village and also the city of Oberlin. Our first person we're going to be talking to is Carol Burke. She is the facilitator of this whole entire project. And so she's the one that's going to be introducing everything specifically and then having to do with Thrive itself and what Thrive. My first question to you, Carol, is pretty obvious. What is Thrive? What's its mission? And when was it launched?
Well, let's back with United Way because it has changed its ways, causing things like Thrive to exist. I remember when I was a teacher, I would get my little form did I want to donate money to the United Way? And I would check off, in my case, I wanted to support the Girl Scouts. That was what I had in mind. Mm-hmm. And then I retired and I lost track of the United Way. But they have changed the way they get their funding and the way they use their money. So they now have 10 collaboratives. 3 are with health, 3 are with pre-K readiness, pre-kindergarten readiness, and 3 are with the middle school social emotional well-being and projects for them. There are many other things that they do. They also do quite a bit with their collaborative called UCAN, which deals with financial stability. If anyone out there has problems paying their utilities or their mortgage, contact them. They are very helpful and they have money right now, so go for it. I facilitate Southern Lorraine County, which is to service those who are in Southern Lorraine County, primarily Wellington and the surrounding townships. Our mission then is we're one of the health collabs, and our mission is to provide affordable opportunities for those who reside to live healthier through healthy eating, active living, and social emotional support. Our vision is pretty lofty. Our vision through our efforts is that our residents will decrease their risk factors for metabolic syndrome, which is a group of chronic diseases including obesity, heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Those are pretty lofty and hard to accomplish.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I can go on if you wish.
Well, I was just going to say, now we talked about the fact that we have this Mind, Body, Spirit project, and it encompasses 3 different entities, that being Thrive, which we're talking about right now, and also the Rural Response Network, and also the ESC, the Educational Service Center. Yes. Within that, how do you actually coordinate with the 2 other young ladies that you're talking to, and also the marketing director? And you can put a plug in for her too, if you would like.
Okay, so Thrive is made up of a variety of partners, including the organizations that are part of the Rural Response Network. And Debbie Kelly, who is writing the grant and is so heavily invested in this, she will explain what that is all about. Mm-hmm. But we have partners like the YMCA, the Health Department, Mercy Health, and all of these different organizations are going to provide material for these videos. Right. The idea is that we're going to be able to, Thrive already has their website and their Facebook, and I'm not sure what Rural Response Network has. And our other organization is the Educational Service Center. I'm not sure what they have out there, but Thrive, the one thing we can do is to provide education and to let people know what is available, little guidance here and there. And so this Mind, Body, Spirit project, which is actually Debbie Kelly's brainstorm, is to provide education on a variety of subjects that will help our community pique their interest on something or help them with the situation.
Mm-hmm. When was this project Thrive actually launched? Because this isn't something that's brand new.
In July of 2016. So it's relatively new. I was part of the organization of it way back then. Along the health department had a Living Healthy program, and it combined with the United Way, and we came up with Thrive. I haven't always been the facilitator. I've only been facilitating for 3 to 4 years. But this mind, body, spirit is a brand new concept. So we're kind of chaotic as far as organizing it, and what is it all about? We're not quite sure. Mercy Health wants to have talk with the doc videos where physicians from Mercy Health can participate. We have all these different partners who hopefully you will hear from not all the time, because we have so many partners. We can spread it among ourselves. Our Thrive's marketing manager, it will be trying to corral all of us and make sure we have a good schedule and a variety of topics covered.
I see. Well, you talked about the vision and what the vision of Thrive is. Can you come up with maybe an ultimate goal for Thrive?
Influence even as the smallest amount of people to change their lifestyles so that they lower their AC, is it AC1? I don't know those terms, but their blood pressure, their weight, their blood work. If they can change those numbers and continue that process, it's one thing to do it for 6 months. It's another to make it a habit that for life. We've had this project called Water First for Thirst. And in 6 weeks, you're supposed to change your habits. Well, that's up to the individual. All we can do is lead people like a horse. You can lead them to water, but they have to drink it and make it part of their life.
Now, you talked about there's just so many groups that are involved and things like that. And I know you can't name them all, but what groups, say in the Wellington community, just to use Wellington because this is Wellington High School, what groups do you actually serve within the village of Wellington?
That we serve are groups that are involved with us.
That you actually serve. Who are the people that benefit from Thrive?
We have an ongoing project, a signature project of Growing Nutrition, which is an elevated garden box. They stand about 30 inches high. And we make maybe 10 per year and give them to seniors and those who, not just seniors, because I'm a senior, I don't need one yet, but they're people who have problems getting down on the ground to garden.
Oh, sure.
Be it a bad hip, knee replacements, maybe you're 85 years old, the variety of reasons. And that serves their nutrition. It serves as exercise and is definitely good for their social, emotional well-being. So it hits all of our goals. So that's been very successful. We just helped out the village of Wellington to convert a basketball court into 3 pickleball courts out at the rec park. And they're very handsome in our new color scheme of burgundy and gray. And they've been used. It's a lot of fun to play pickleball. It's not hard to play it. I'm not an expert, thank you very much, but it's fun to get out there. It's good for kids and adults, whatever your age happens to be. We are also trying to encourage our residents to realize that it's okay to have a dementia person in your family and you are stressed because you must take care of this person all the time. We have a program called a Memory Cafe that's through Life, a dementia-friendly foundation. It meets only 4 hours a week, though there's some in other locations that you can travel to. Just have to convince people that this is a good time for activities for your loved one, and the caretaker gets some time off. They stay there, but it's free programming and camaraderie with others who are going through the same situation. In the past, before COVID, we tried to have some work site health screenings, and once we're free more of COVID, hopefully we can get back and work more with our work sites, work sites are not the easiest things to deal with. But, we've tried indoor walking at Westwood. Hopefully that'll come back once we are more COVID secure. And I am working with the superintendent and the athletic director to purchase a turnstile for the track, so that we, like many other communities, can get out there as public, can walk the track, but the turnstile would keep people with skateboards and other items off the track, which could possibly harm it. What else are we working on? We have pre-COVID and post-COVID, so and during COVID. So we'll see what else we can come up with.
Well, that's an excellent transition to my next question. All of these things having to do with the current things and looking at the future things. I know that occasionally I have seen notices either in the Rural Urban Record or I don't do Facebook, but within the other communication platforms within the village. But I don't hear very much about specifically, and that's why, you know, when I was asked by you to do something having to do with Thrive, I, like most other people, I had a blank stare, had no idea what you were talking about. So how do you actually communicate all of these projects, not only the Dementia Friendly Foundation, all of the walking that hopefully we will actually do in the future, that we have done already at Westwood. How do you actually communicate all of these programs that are available here in Wellington and attaching that word Thrive to make them understand that all of this is being coordinated by, in this case, you, the facilitator, and getting the word out that all of these projects are available to you?
Difficult problem to solve. Our marketing manager does use the newspapers,
right?
The Chronicle, the Lorraine Journal, the Rural Urban. She does all of those. Word of mouth is probably the best way. We try to share events on the community pages for Facebook, but then again, you have to be on Facebook. It's very hard to get the word out. So we're hoping that this Mind, Body, Spirit project will be another way that we can communicate with the public once they realize that, you know, like once a week, check in with the YouTube channel that the high school is providing and see what's out there. And then I'm hoping these YouTubes can then be shared with other organizations. If you see one that you like, you can copy or share it. So we are very thankful for the opportunity to work with the students, and hopefully they will learn more about how to make a video more presentable, because we don't have that skill. So we're hoping that Mr. Conklin and the kids can get this going, and that they appreciate the fact that we are giving them materials that they can work with, and we'll all grow together, hopefully.
Well, I want to just back up just a little bit about the future projects, and especially one. We all know that we have a brand new track there at the football field, and you were talking about the fact that you would like to somehow get a turnstile, and shall we say user-friendly, not skateboard or bicycle-friendly. What if you're coming up against some problems or some shall we say either money problems, or trying to convince people that we in the village would like to use that track for walking and or jogging, but making sure that the people within the high school, within the Board of Education and so on, understand number one, what this project would be for, and number two, making sure that we don't cause problems, because it's a brand new track, we don't want to make it, have a problem with it. We certainly don't want to have the football field having any damage to that or anything like that. So talk a little bit, if you could please, Carol, about how you are trying to go about specifically this project, because I think the project itself is a great idea, and I think more people would actually use it as long as the track can be safe from damage and the football field can be safe with damage. What are you going up against?
With you are the one that has, well, no, I can't say that. I know you will use it because you like the nice smooth surface, and our sidewalks in town are not conducive to even baby strollers. They're horrible. I'm sorry. And I know that you run in the street, and that's dangerous too. You shouldn't be doing that. But having talked to people who live in other communities and yet are in this work or they travel to other communities as well. This is not uncommon to open up the track for public use.
That's true.
Many schools do. And I've talked to a gentleman who used to teach in Amherst, who's part of Thrive. And he said he doesn't know of any damage that has occurred from public use. Now, I'm not going to guarantee you that nothing's going to happen. I don't have the power to do that. But if you were going to give it a 5-star rating, you would get a pretty good rating as far as the safety of the track and the field. And my goodness, if something should happen, that would be tragic and highly unusual from the little bit I have investigated this. And I think people, if they're out there walking, they can help police the situation as well. They see others who are damaging, or I don't know if there are any cameras out there or not. But reputation, or the numbers will say that the track will be okay, especially if it's protected from those things that would cause issues.
Mm-hmm. Well, before I let you go, and you touched on it already, but I'd like to go into it a little bit more. The Dementia Friendly Foundation. We have people within the village I know that are interested in this because they have family members that do have, or maybe an onset of dementia or something like that, and really don't understand what the disease is. Could you expound on that just a little bit more?
No, but I do believe we will have a couple video sessions where we will have Life come in and explain what this is all about. Fortunately, I haven't had to deal with it in my particular family. I did, through Life, have the opportunity to pretend that I had dementia and put these special inserts in my shoes for the nerve damage and the uneven footing. Glasses that narrowed my vision. The room was dark. Oh, and these earphones they put on. So everything is distorted. And then suddenly these sirens go off. So you have all this stuff on you, and then they give you a list, a verbal list of what you are supposed to do. And they put you in this darkened room. And you have to remember what it is you're supposed to be doing with all these distractions. And it's hard to see what's going on. And the only way I got through it was knowing that I could come back out of that room and be my usual self.
Exactly.
It was and we hope to offer these dementia simulations as soon as people are a little more under control with COVID. Mm-hmm. We had talked about doing them now, and then, let's just wait a little bit until things are a little safer, because you don't want people to get unknowingly to get exposed to what's out there. So that's my experience with, what was the other part of your question? I don't remember.
Well, that was I just wanted to expound on that because I know we had some meetings before COVID, and we hope to have the foundation again take place in the future when this Delta variant hopefully runs its course and we don't follow something else behind it.
These are going on. It is open on Monday, 10 till 2 at the New Life Assembly of God Church. Okay. And attendance has picked up in the last month. So we're really excited that we are having people show up. And there's music, there's exercise, there's crafts, there's lunch, good times. So people should go out and try it and see if it fits their needs.
Very good. Well, we'd like to thank, we've been talking with Carol Burke. She is the facilitator of Thrive here in both Wellington and for Oberlin. And we'd like to thank her very much for coming in. I hope that this particular dialogue with the Dukes can go out and inform more people. And I hope that through the other communication platforms, social media, newspapers, and so on. I'm hoping that so many of these programs, which I think are very, very useful within Wellington and Oberlin, I hope more people can actually can use these things. And as the pandemic eases, we all hope that we can get more use out of all of these things having to do with Thrive, all of the projects and everything. And I do wish you luck, Carol, because as I said before you and I talked, I was one of those people that I would look at in a blank stare and go, I have no idea what Thrive is. So I hope that go ahead.
I need to clarify one thing.
Sure.
Thrive is for Wellington Townships. It does not include Oberlin.
Okay.
Now, when you talk to Debbie Kelly about the Rural Response Network, her project does encompass the two communities.
Exactly.
But that's where we overlap, but do not include.
And we will be talking with Debbie next. So once again, we'd like to thank you, Carol, for coming in and not only educating the public, but also educating me, because I had no idea what this was. So once again, after this message, we will be talking with Debbie Kelly. This is Dialogue with the Dukes.
Does your instrument all of a sudden stop working properly? Fear not, Wellington Music is here.
My trumpet isn't working. It seems to be, it's not playing.
I can fix this. Give me about a half an hour and I think you'll see a totally different trumpet.
With a wide selection of guitars, such as classic acoustic, electric guitars, and amps in much variety. We also have a variety of band instruments and keyboards for your pleasure.
Cool, I hope you're happy.
Thank you, Wellington Music.
Come down to Wellington Music today.